So this is the last video. I figured that we should just show off the Wii splash screen in the menu. There it is.
Not much to it.
Short and to the point.
I like it.
Welcome back to Deadly Creatures. For the last and best time. Ah, crap. I'm stuck in one of those escape rooms.
Attica! Attica!
Oh, look, it's that rattlesnake.
That look on the deer's face!
That looks suspicious over there. Okay, so here's what I gotta do. I gotta get a knife, a rope, and some super glue, and a piece of string, and combine it into a fishing rod.
You want to get out of here, don't you? I need that guy's leg.
It's gonna be hilarious. I don't really need it, though. So this is what we do to escape. I'm sure that rattlesnake will cause no problems for us in the future.
No, not at all. It's not like he's a recurring boss or anything.
And shout out to any Retrospective fans who were entertained by my trapped reference from earlier. Slow Beef, please come back. We miss you. And Diabetes too.
Oh no, this is that Duke Nukem level where you're shrunk.
Well, so this level is kind of short. Just navigating this area, it constitutes like the majority of the level, but it's a really good level. If you want, you could solve it pretty fast. But we're going to go exploring a little bit and show off some of the interesting little details.
All right.
We're going to show like an abridged version of this, though. Just showing off the highlights.
This is not a speed run.
And I talked a bit before about how fall damage gets taken into account. We killed that spider much more quickly because we were on the wall.
Quite the fall damage.
If my memory serves correctly, there's one particular lizard a little later on in this video who will suffer a very unfortunate fate thanks to fall damage. So keep an eye out for that. Anyway, we're going to go a little further into this room. I was trying to see exactly how far the maximum distance is for the stealth pounce. I was eventually able to figure it out. Right about there.
Boom. Ooh.
I have no idea how that praying mantis survived that. That guy almost deserved to live. Just for that.
I'm gonna let you go with a warning.
Do better in your next life.
Oh, wow. It's some ratty taxidermy office. I do not want to know what's in those bags.
Well, I don't know. It kind of looks like an old-fashioned gas station, doesn't it?
A little bit.
That looks mighty dangerous. Don't go near that. Anyway, we're gonna go over to this old-fashioned cash register, and I wonder what happens if we walk on top of it here. Oh, look at that. We released a leaf cricket.
It's better than moths in your wallet.
I like how that even when this game was set, I like how that cash register has to be at least 30 years out of date. I mean, given that, it was Struggs that kidnapped us, we could assume that this is his office.
Struggs needs to hire a housekeeper.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got a rotary phone, for crying out loud. He hasn't even upgraded a touch tone. And look at that. He has one of those... I'm surprised that his TV doesn't have rabbit ears.
He's gonna have a hard time with that digital conversion.
We go over here. Ah! Oh, it's a taxidermy snake. But yeah, there are, I think, all of the remaining leaf crickets are in this map. and they're just sort of scattered around this one massive area. And even with a guide, it was pretty difficult to find them all because there's no visual. There are actually no video walkthroughs for this game. It's all text.
Interesting. So nobody's gone all the way through. That's weird.
Well, this game is something of a cult classic, but apparently not enough to have a 100% walkthrough on YouTube for it.
That hurts my soul for some reason.
There's 100%. Well, there are 100% walkthroughs, with IGN and at least 2 on GameFAQs. But
Yeah.
I had to consult them, independently of each other and sort of cross-reference them a lot, just because they had contradicting information and stuff like that. So there was no video walkthrough. There are some interesting long plays on YouTube as well. And it is kind of a shame that the Game Grumps never finished their LP of it, because it looked like they were really entertained. I think they only got up to like chapter 3.
It seems like such an easy sell to get into this game, though.
Well, when they started, they thought it looked like hot garbage, but they really liked it at the end. Anyway, so now that we've got all of the stuff, all the leaf crickets, let's get out of this room.
Okay, that's terrifying.
That face is begging for an image macro.
Oh my god. Yes.
Anyone in the thread who can make the best image macro based on that face will get probated. Just kidding. I'll actually put it in the reserved post that I have. I wouldn't probate anyone.
Oh, what the hell? Set you behind the water, huh? Nice and warm back there. I don't hear you. Come on, just give me a ring.
You better not have destroyed my DVD copy of Easy Rider. That was my second greatest cinematic achievement after Speed. Did you know that Dennis Hopper's cinematic debut was in Rebel Without a Cause?
I did not know that.
Yeah, apparently he was one of the background characters. I think it was in Plato's gang, the gang that was opposite, that was opposite James Dean's character. So I can now say with complete confidence that at least one person in the video game industry has worked with James Dean.
Oh, there's our old friend.
It's the rematch we've all been waiting for. Ladies and gentlemen of the crowd, we got ourselves an Inferno match!
By God! It's really heating up in here!
Well, I don't know about you, but I think I can smell the heat off of these two.
Jake the Snake!
Oh, almost he dodged as a nice bite there. He's going in for the strike. Oh, but Mr. Snake there, he knows what's coming. Better stay out of the fire there, boy. Oh, going in for the strike. Yeah, this is basically a repeat of the a phase of that initial boss fight we had against the Rattler, except there's no QTE now.
This is like the end of Arkham Asylum.
This is not the final boss, by the way.
Oh my God!
We have one chapter left to go. This isn't even the end of this boss. We have another phase.
This is ridiculous. Incidentally, we've set fire to a gas station now.
Yeah. Well, Wade did say something about a gas station at the beginning of the game, right?
Yes.
Well, I think we know what's going on. So, okay, so in this phase, we're on the side of a wall, so we can't really jump, but we can sort of dodge out of the way. So the idea here, this is a little bit of a puzzle boss. So when I initially kind of screwed this up, you use the web shot and then the web jump eventually. And then we got a QT finisher.
Spider-Man! Spider-Man!
As God is my witness, he has beaten himself in half!
Holy shit! And it's still not dead!
Nope. Welcome to the actual last level of the game now.
Convergence. We're actually in Zen now.
So like the previous level, like the previous two levels, this has a convergent timeline with the previous chapters. So this takes place during the same time as the climax of the previous chapter.
Oh, rats, my favorite.
Hey, get out of my way! I gotta pee really bad!
Hairballs in the drain.
So, can you guess where they hid the leaf cricket in this level?
Oh, probably in the toilet.
Surprisingly, no, actually. So, as I mentioned before, my super incredible secret to defeating the rats is just mashing the A button. Anyway, leaf crickets underneath the newspaper.
Oh, he's got a little tent.
So much for public housing. Anyway, here's the lizard I was talking about.
Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to drain the lizard.
Poor fella. That's what you get for all those stupid Geico commercials. I thought I killed you with the marketing.
Oh my god.
I'm doing my best to keep our restrooms clean. I promise you that, as president.
I thought this game was amazing in the last video for the vistas and the scale and everything that they've done with it. This is really impressive.
And that's all they needed was just to use like a shitty public toilet. It's like forget sewer levels. That's really all they need is to rip. It's the best thing they needed for this game was to rip off Silent Hill 2. That's all they needed to do.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he's going to get out and he's going to have a long monologue about getting a letter from his dead wife.
You promised to meet us there, in that sacred place. So here we go, Giordino's Pizza. I think it's. I'm trying to think of what exactly what pizza company that's supposed to be like a take on. I think the Little Caesars maybe, because it's clearly a pastiche of something.
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure you don't want to eat 40 of them in 30 days.
Well, it seems like Struggs. I don't think Struggs is capable of cooking for himself. Even if he knew, and I think that even if he knew how, like even if he like went to a even if it went to a chef school, he'd still order pizza every day. I just kind of get that vibe from him.
He is incredibly lazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going through the wiki the other day to get the screenshot for the incomplete for the incorrect voice actors that were mentioned, and the wiki mentions that according to the lore, there's either a depending on where it is in the wiki, either a 90,000 or a 90 million dollar bounty for Strugs for various crimes. I'm not entirely sure, given the inconsistencies of the wiki, whether or not to believe that.
$90 million seems like a lot for one redneck.
Yeah, like that would put him on FBI's most wanted list, for one thing.
It's a wiki. Just make shit up.
And it's on fandom.
Oh. That's not a wiki if it's on fandom. It's a cesspool.
Somewhere in the middle, I think.
Yeah.
Cleaner than a cesspool, but dirtier than a regular wiki. Alright, so this fight, I'm glad that there's a save point just before this fight. Because I really don't like it. There's just far too many enemies, even when you have all of the upgrades. Although I was able to kind of cheese it a little bit with the Burrow Strike, because when you're maxed out with the Burrow Strike and you're playing on normal, you can instantly combo that into a finisher. But I made the mistake that I've warned you against, which is I tried to get fancy with the rats instead of just mashing the A button.
Oh, the rats played you.
It's more like I played myself, actually. And this happened like 3 or 4 times. I cut out all my deaths for a reason. I didn't want to humiliate myself any further.
I am really gonna miss these finishers.
Yeah, they really are, like, I'd say the second best part of the game after the novelty of the scenery. Yeah, I didn't really talk before about most of the motion controls are pretty good, except for the Burrow Strike is kind of iffy when it comes to twisting, because you have to twist the Wii Remote over 180 degrees, which is sometimes it works most of the time, but the motion you need for it is pretty precise, and it really, and you also need to hold it still in order to stay burrowed, and then flick it up while it's still 180 degrees. So it's almost like you have to hold the Wii Remote in your hand and make sure that your hand is still upright as it's twisted around.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
You get used to it, though. I mean, it's certainly annoying. It's not great design, but it's not something that's, completely unplayable. It's not unplayable.
I gotcha. More grubbies.
Yep. So we're actually right outside of the gas station here. So right outside where the tarantula and the rattlesnake were fighting.
Oh, but nothing's on fire yet.
There's a bug zapper up top, but that's where the entrance to the final boss is. However, we're actually going to ignore that for now. And, well, no, first we're going to save. But you see, we can actually go over to where the, to where the gas station, the proper part of the gas station is over there. That's an entire area that most people will probably not even realize that you can go to. Because you would never think to go there. You probably just assume there's an invisible wall, but no, you can totally go over there.
So you can actually go over to the arena. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can. And in fact, the last couple of leaf crickets are hidden in this area.
Oh, sneaky.
I just like the fact that they built this entire area and made it explorable, even if it's not really important to anything. I just like that it's there.
Beautiful sunset. Little lizard that we're going to have to kill.
And a lizard that's not glitching out because it's on flat terrain. Yeah, put that poison right in its brain. Good job, Scorpion. Even the game is telling you to stop.
He died like he lived, tripping balls.
Alright. last leaf cricket is over here. It's all the way up top here, I think.
Yeah, they really went all out on this.
Wait, I'm forgetting now what I may have actually cut out. I may have accidentally cut out the last leaf cricket. I can't remember. We'll see later on, but look at this bug zapper.
Oh.
I definitely I definitely collected all the leaf crickets. I just can't remember. I may have cut out the last one. Anyway, we gotta knock these enemies into the bug zapper, which is unbelievably satisfying.
Oh my god, that's cathartic.
Yeah. And we'll beat up these tarantula hawks just for fun. Or, okay, yeah, we are. It's been a while since I've recorded this footage, so I'm trying to remember what happens. I remember exactly what I did for the final boss, but I just can't remember the lead up to it. Ow.
These things are rough. Like, the flying enemies are a little unfair in this, but...
Well, it's more that you're not. It's if you're not paying attention. Anyway, final boss time. Let's go.
Oh, what the hell? Never should have kept that rattler. Bet you're behind the water heater, ain't you? Huh? Nice and warm back there. I don't hear you. Come on, just give me a rattle.
So it immediately gives away how to defeat the final boss, so I censored it. All right, I'm gonna shut up and just let you react to this.
I could have used Wade to help clean this up. Oh well.
Oh my god! Oh, Jesus Christ!
So, if you have ever wanted a game in which you repeatedly stab Academy Award nominee Dennis Hopper in the testicles, well, guess what? I've got the perfect game for you.
Here you go. Now,
Oh,
where did you go?
Jesus!
So, this is basically a Colossus fight, with the said Colossus being a human.
I was expecting this. I was not expecting the dick stabbing.
Also, I kind of glitched out here. Yeah, this final boss is great, but it does have a couple of minor issues. Basically, you have to wait until he's checking his shoe here, and then you don't do what I do, which is like staying here. You gotta climb all the way up to his crotch when he does that. So basically, after he tries to stop, you have to obviously avoid his shotgun shot. That is surprisingly not a one-hit kill. He can survive, I think, 2 or 3 shotgun shots point blank. That is one hardy scorpion. This is seriously like the best final boss in video game history.
Now, where did you go?
Okay, let's finish this off quickly.
Get off me! I'm gonna turn you into a smear.
And there's that shotgun blast that set off the fight against the snake.
Now I got you.
That barely did any damage at all. It's amazing. And here's the ending cutscene.
Well, so long, Dennis.
Somehow, he survived that because he was in a coma, according to the beginning cutscene. Hey, wait up! I gotta grab the gold.
Oh my god.
I really like that ending cutscene, despite the fact that it was apparently rendered for the Sega CD. By the looks of it,
Yeah.
I don't think that was ever given a proper render.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
So there's no ending credits song. There's actually, if you listen to it, it's the sound of the fire burning in the background. Eventually, you'll be able to hear paramedics as they arrive to the scene and take Struggs away to the hospital.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
So that's Deadly Creatures. What did you think?
Oh my god. What? I understand why this game is such a cult classic now.
Yeah.
Because, like, we were saying this in the last video, this is the kind of game that sort of fades into a bunch of sportsman's outdoor shovelware.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's the sort of thing that you find at, like, a pawn shop or a used game store for $5 and you play it after the fact.
There were eight production
babies.
Keeping in mind, this only had a staff of 35. They were productive. I gotta give them credit for that.
Rabbits. That's what this game was missing.
But then you would never convince any player to finish the game, because who wants to kill a rabbit?
THQ's test team was probably bigger. Like, the QA crew is bigger than the actual development team.
Yeah,
what is going
true.
on here?
Well, I mean, these were probably the same guys who were testing, like, their MX ATV games.
More than likely. So, I mean, they had in-house, because I'm not seeing anything like Volt listed in there. How in the world did you find this game originally?
I'm trying to remember, because I definitely heard about it around the time that it was first being marketed. Like this. Oh, by the way, you could just hear the sirens coming in.
Just hear the sirens, yeah.
I remember first being interested in it, like when I was just graduated high school when this game first came out, and I think I heard about it just through gaming websites. It sounded interesting. Forgot about it for a couple of years, and I just heard about it on the internet somewhere, and then I forgot about it for years, and then Game Grumps did their aborted playthrough, and suddenly I remembered all about it. I knew about the final boss before I played the game, and that was the novelty that brought it over for me. Was just to see, how ridiculous is it? It could not. How ridiculous could it be to get the chance to stab Dennis Hopper in the testicles?
Pretty ridiculous.
It does appear that I accidentally cut out the last leaf cricket, but don't worry, I collected it.
Beautiful concept art too on the chapters.
Yeah, this was apparently one of the last things that Dennis Hopper worked on before he passed away.
Which is unfortunate.
Not counting the stuff that has been released post-mortem. So yeah, this is basically his legacy, getting stabbed in the dick by a scorpion.
I think when you reach the end like that, you don't particularly mind that your previous low watermark was playing King Koopa. He was a good sport about this, Billy Bob Thornton, I think, really, 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 really enjoyed it. Dennis Hopper was a good sport for lending his talents to it. The team who assembled this did amazing work.
So this is the last gameplay video, but after this, I will put the last video in the playlist. Is going to be the interview with Dennis Hopper, and part of the reason why I was delaying releasing the that Dennis Hopper interview is because it ends with Hopper recording lines for the final boss with Struggs versus the Scorpion.
Oh,
so I didn't want to quite give
that
away until we were finished with the LP.
But that's a beautiful game. Like, really, if you can find it, pick it up and give it a playthrough. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to see if I can come across a copy of this one.
Yeah, you could probably find it on Amazon for pretty cheap. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. That's the last gameplay video. Next up is going to be the interview with Dennis Hopper, and then we'll be moving on to a much more ambitious project. We're going to be playing an entire series.
Oh, we're opening the magical door of death.